In a world still reshaping itself, life was learning new ways to rise. The age of reptiles had ended its first act, and in the stillness after chaos, new giants began to walk the earth. Among the first of these giants was Plateosaurus, a name that would mark the beginning of a dynasty that would one day rule the world. The Plateosaurus lived over 210 million years ago, long before the mighty sauropods and the kings of the Jurassic. It stood nearly 10 meters long, with a neck built for reaching, and hands that could grasp the tender leaves of the Triassic forests. But despite its size, it was no conqueror. It was a survivor, a creature shaped by scarcity, storms, and fire. In this world, strength meant endurance. The earth was a forge, and every living thing was still being tested. Plateosaurs were herd creatures, travelers across endless plains of dust and fern. They moved in groups, following ancient instincts to find food and safety. They faced predators, the swift and cunning Liliensternus, and the lurking shadows of crocodile-like hunters. But together, they endured. Their strength was in unity, not aggression. Even in the dawn of prehistory, cooperation was already shaping the destiny of life. The Triassic world was unpredictable. Seasons were fierce. Rains turned rivers into traps, and drought could turn life into a graveyard. But the Plateosaurus adapted. It could rise on two legs to escape danger. And when the forests dried, it walked vast distances in search of new life. Every step forward was a lesson written in the soil, a message that survival belongs not to the strongest, but to the most resilient. The Plateosaurus was not the biggest, the fiercest, or the fastest, but it was a pioneer, one of the first creatures to claim the world in the name of endurance. Its legacy stretched forward through millions of years to the titans that would follow: Diplodocus, Brachiosaurus, Argentinosaurus. Every one of them carried a spark lit by these early wanderers of the Triassic dawn. They remind us that greatness rarely begins in glory. It begins in persistence, in the quiet will to keep going when the world seems impossible. When we look back through the endless corridors of time, we see that every age began with creatures who dared to take the first step. The Plateosaurus was one of them, a bridge between chaos and order, between what was and what would one day become magnificent. This was the forgotten wild, where the first giants remind us that every beginning, no matter how small, can shape eternity.